Trump held a rally this weekend in Madison Square Garden. By every reasonable account, the event was a rousing success. The Democrats are upset and are equating Trump's rally with a pro-Nazi rally held by the German-American Federation in 1939. The people on television are slandering Trump as a fascist and are creating a fever with their Trump is Hitler rhetoric. This is a problem for several reasons. First, it's not true. Second, it's calculated to inflame passions. Third, it's reckless. It's reckless because none of the people claiming that Trump will impose fascism can define fascism. This is not an insult. This is reality. The fundamental problem is that Mussolini himself did not have a coherent definition of fascism. As a result, scholars typically define fascism by using the features of various dictatorships, which some might call fascist. The thesis of fascism is based upon a weapon from ancient Rome. This weapon was an axe head attached to a bundle of birch or elm rods. Thus, the word itself essentially translates to something like stronger together. This, of course, is something that politicians say all of the time. This fake news rhetoric calls to mind the scene of the last days of Hitler in his bunker, the people around him keeping him high on drugs and enabling his delusion, which was also their delusion, that the war could still be won. Kamala strikes me as completely insane.
Do you think Donald Trump is a fascist?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And I also believe that the people who know him best on this subject should be trusted. Over 400 previous members of the administration, from Ronald Reagan to both Presidents Bush to Donald Trump even, have endorsed my candidacy. And the reason why among them is a legitimate fear based on Donald Trump's words and actions that he will not obey an oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States. He himself has said he would terminate the Constitution of the United States.
Everything else aside, Kamala's in a tough spot. Things are fucked up, so she can't really argue that she should be elected to keep everything the same. But she's part of the reason why things are fucked, so she can't argue that she should be elected to change things. This leaves her with the argument that Trump is more scary than she is, which is ridiculous. He was the president for 4 years, and the government worked about the way it always has since the end of the war. Oddly, this strategy has been effective with a percentage of the voters, the strongly anti-Trump people. The Stockholm Syndrome is the condition of hostages or abuse victims forming emotional bonds with their captors. This response can result from the extreme stress and fear and leads to unexpected sympathy and loyalty. The syndrome is triggered by survival mechanisms in high-stress situations, with factors like prolonged isolation and cognitive dissonance increasing the risk of emotional dependency on the abusers.